Did you guys know that there's only 25 cards in Series 2 in Marvel Snap? That makes it by far the smallest collection pool of cards in the game. It spans from collection level 222 till 474. So if you've been playing for quite some time and you're like in the 3000s or even higher collection level, then you've probably forgotten more or less what was actually in Pool 2 or Series 2, whichever one you want to call it, compared to Series 1, let's say. But maybe you're in Series 2 and you're trying to get through the ranks and you're trying to find the cards and figure out which ones are performing the best so you can plug those into your decks. Well, in this video, we're going to have a look at the statistics in Marvel Snap based on snap.fan statistics. So a couple of things to note here, okay? One, this is just a sample size. Do not take this and think that this is like the way to build your decks, or that I'm suggesting that you use these decks. That we're just using a resource that we have available to us, right? So we're just looking at the stats and seeing what's interesting, what's not. I'm a bit of a stat nerd myself. I like statistics. Anything I do, I like to look at the stats, even if I don't change my deck or gameplay according to them. So another key note that I want to bring up here that you might have noticed is that we're going to be talking about the Cuberate, and we're going to be looking at the top cards that are performing, that are getting you the most cubes. Okay, so I actually did a short poll on my Twitter. You can go ahead and follow me there. But we did a small little poll where I asked, what do you think is the most important metric when tracking a card's performance? Now, a lot of people said neither, and I think that's totally fair. There's a lot of factors that go into a card's performance when you're playing with Marvel Snap. For instance, who's piloting the deck, right? What decks is it fitting in? Is it only fitting in one deck and that one kind of does well, so it ends up having a high win rate? Well, that's all fair, and like I said, this is just one sample size. But there are clearly some cards that stand a little bit over the others, which we're going to get to, and we're going to look at the cube rate, because you got to win cubes. That's what's most important in Marvel Snap, right? You could win a whole bunch, but if you're not getting cubes, then what does it matter? You're not really ranking up. So check this out. We have it sorted by Pool 2, or aka Series 2, all right? And then if we go over the average cubes and we filter down, look at this. I'll show you like the top 12 here, but look at it. Okoye is your top performer, a 0.52 average cubes per game. That's pretty wild. I think it's pretty astonishing because you don't see Okoye all that much. This, by the way, is in deck. So you're probably thinking, well, yeah, of course, if you play Okoye, then you're going to have that buff and it just gives you an advantage and then you probably win the game, right? That's why she'd have a high cube rate, but not necessarily, because this is in deck. So it's just decks being run with Okoye in there. They seem to be snatching up a bunch of cubes. Maybe it's because people forget about the buff that Okoye gives, and then all your residual value afterwards is coming out in just the small portions, those 1 power increments, and then your opponent just realized, oh, I lost by 1 power, 2 power, and it was actually because Okoye stabbed your opponent's deck and gave you all that buffs. So I don't know, pretty fascinating. Then Scorpion, we know that one's pretty dominant. I'm not too surprised. I think this card is actually a little bit overtuned. The value it can get as a 2 cost, if you can get it out on curve, my goodness, it's such a good card. Killmonger, my goodness, look at this games seen rate. It's insane. This is one of the more popular cards and it has such incredible value, so I wasn't shocked to see that. Iceman as well, incredible disruption. A lot of people are calling for a nerf, maybe reduce it by 1 power, right? So these are all hovering around 0.42 cubes on average per game, which is pretty fantastic. We're going to go through a few more metrics as well, but I'm just going to cover these ones here. The Infonaut is your guy, your big boy in Series 2. Now, another thing that we should get to right now is that I don't have this filtered by only Series 2 and under decks. I'm going to keep it open. I think, you know, that was a criticism from the last time video, and I totally understand. We might as well just see how these cards are performing across all of the decks. I probably won't read into it too much with the Series 4 and 5 decks, but keeping Series 3, I think most of the player base is there, or at least getting there, so we can look at that data. So this is including all Series decks, but only the Series 2 cards, okay? So the Infonaut seems to be doing pretty good for himself. He's got 0.41 cubes, and he's at almost a 55% win rate, which is pretty wild to me. Nakia is also doing well. Dude, do you ever see this card? Well, look at its show rate is 1% there. 1%, my dude. You don't see this one often, but she seems to be doing all right. Now, I don't know if this changed because of the recent buff. I kind of doubt it, but she seems to be doing decent. Now, it makes sense to me. It's another Okoye effect of like getting that value. Your opponent didn't see that right away. They didn't know that you got some crazy buffs. They just saw 2 power coming out on the field and they're thinking, well, if my opponent hits something pretty decent, then they're in a good spot. But I'm just going to bank on that the +2 bonus into their hand isn't going to change the game much, and we'll play this one out. And then boom, on turn 6, your opponent played 4 extra power because those cards were just sneakily hiding in their hands. So I think she's actually a pretty decent card. But now, should you be playing her in every deck? No, definitely not. Don't take this like you're just going to build a deck with all the best cards like I'm about to do and start climbing up in ladder, because that's not how this should work. We're supposed to lose games when we put a 12-card deck of just high win rate stuff. It should not be winning. So it raises the question, do you just fill a deck with good cards and then it works or not? We've seen a lot of decks that just have good cards. They're literally, that's the name of the deck, good cards. So we'll find out shortly here. A few other ones are Shang-Chi, popular card, has great value, can get you a lot of cubes because it just snipes at the end. And then you got your Jubilees, Agent 13s. If we scroll all the way to the bottom, the cards that are giving you the least amount, and it's Sandman. Dude, Sandman only 0.25 cubes. Ouch. He's also not seeing a whole lot. None of these cards are really seeing a whole lot, and yet their win rates are decent, and that's why we're looking at Cuberate, because look at the difference in cube rate. We're talking like 2 cubes. That's a big deal in Marvel Snap, right? But the win rates are almost the same. So I totally hear with you guys what you guys are saying about looking at the cube rate over the win rate. Let me know in the comments below which one you think is more important and why. Honestly, all these stats I don't think are overly important, not something to be read into too much, but fun to analyze. Then you got your Hobgoblin, your Sabretooth, your Ebony Maw. I kind of expected these ones. I honestly expected Rhino to be a little bit lower. I thought Cloak would be a little bit higher up because of move decks, but move decks don't perform well, so there you go. Bucky Barnes being this low is shocking to me. But the one I really do want to talk about is Leech. Look at Leech, 0.33 cubes. And we got that problem with Leech leader combo, yet Leech doesn't seem to be racking in all that many cubes. Now, you're probably screaming at your monitors right now. Well, it is because when Leech happens on the field, the opponent retreats, netting you less cubes. Hence why we almost have a 55% win rate on the Leech, which is great, but maybe you should stop running Leech because 1, it's toxic. 2, you're not getting all that many cubes when you do actually get to play the little green guy. So maybe I'm just making a case for taking that one out of the meta, but seems to be not that worth it if you're looking to climb pretty quickly. All right, so quickly climbing back to the top here, I want to talk about games seen. So I have it filtered here by games seen, and as you can see, Sunspot is the most played, or at least recorded game according to snap.fan's statistics in Marvel Snap. The second most is Shang-Chi, and it's close. Isn't that wild? So Sunspot to me just makes sense. It fits in a lot of decks. It can get incredible value for being a 1-drop. You get it to like 3 pretty easily, probably more than that, let's be honest. Shang-Chi though is a tech option that kind of is like boom or bust. It can absolutely win games for you hands down, or you can just never find the right time or place to play him. So I'm shocked to see him played this much. Now they do have good win rates. They have decent cube rates. So valid plays. But also I want you to pay attention to the amount of Series 2 cards that are in these top game scene. It's pretty wild. I don't know if it's a mix of just, what the player base has at the moment. We're going to do this routinely, I think. We're going to do these kind of videos every month just to see how things change, right? So definitely smash the like button if you like this kind of series. It motivates me to keep it going. So check it out. Scorpion is in here. We also got Killmonger, Iceman. There's a bunch of these cards. If we even went a little bit further down, right? If we scrolled a little bit further, you got your Storm, Jubilee, and Infinite, a combo that all kind of works really well together. So there you go. That's just a little bit of the statistics, the cube rates of some of these Series 2 cards. Now, what happens? What happens, guys, if we take all 12 cards that were at the top of the cube rates for the Series 2 and we put them in a deck and we hit ladder? Are we going to win like last time with Series 3 when I didn't want to and I wanted to lose? Honestly, I would rather just lose a bunch of games and show you that this kind of deck does not work in Marvel Snap, but we're going to find out shortly. But first, I'm going to show you some actually good decks in Series 2 that might be worth running. All right, and here we go. We got some of the good stuff, okay? So these aren't like absolutely perfect decks, but they're ones that helped me, and I've seen a lot of other people recommend them. I also use sources from snap.fan and Marvel Snap Zone, a kind of an amalgamation between those two to find these deck lists. So we got good cards, right? It's got the good package, one of the most recommended package that I tell players to run in Series 2, and that is Carnage and Bucky Barnes. So much value, so much power, and you're kind of doing the thing you already want to do. If there's other cards that happen to get in your way from Central Park or Rocks or whatever have you, you can destroy them with Carnage, and it's great. So this kind of runs a bit of a destroy package, a little bit of control as well with the Killmonger and the Shang-Chi, just really good cards, right? High cube rate cards. Then you got your Moon Girl, Devil Dinosaur combo, and America Chavez for a little bit of finisher if you need it, but really she's there to thin the deck so that you get these other cards first. So it's just a good card deck. A lot of these cards synergize with each other, especially like the Nova, Bucky Barnes, Carnage, Deathlock, that sort of thing. It's all great. It's all great. It's a really good deck. And then Unspent Energy. I really like this one. It's fun when you're just getting into Series 2 and getting some of those new cards like the Infinite. Infinite is an incredibly fun card. Usually you give your opponent priority, so the Infinite's pretty safe from Shang-Chi, hopefully, because you're passing on turn 5. But you can cheat him out with Jubilee, right? Or even with Storm, then Jubilee, and then into Infinite is a crazy combo. But we have other things that could work with Storm as well, is Jessica Jones, or if Jubilee pulls America Chavez. Great combinations there. And then a little bit of control as well with the Armor, the Iceman, you know, giving your opponent +1 energy on one of their cards is a total disruptor. Scorpion ruining their hand. We're just giving them a hard time. Armor to protect things in case they want to run that good cards deck with the Destroy combo I was just mentioning, right? Angela's incredible value, and Sunspot is there to cheer you on with his unspent energy converting into power. It's great. It's super good. That is a deck I recommend, and it's super fun to play. But if you're looking for a really fun time and you like the move mechanic, I had to shout out a move deck because I think that they have their most value early on. Unfortunately, when you get to Series 3 and on, there's just other decks to play that end up being better, kind of overshadow the move deck. Move gets limited by the locations more so than any other deck, in my opinion. Sometimes they can benefit them, but for the most part, you're probably going to be in a tough spot. But this deck is really good early on. It's got some key pieces from Series 2 like Vulture and Cloak. Those really, really help the move archetype, and they're running almost every move deck afterward. Honestly, this move deck doesn't change a whole lot after Series 3, just a few exceptions. We do have Hobgoblin in here. It's just a great option to eliminate space on your board and ruin your opponents, especially if you're going to shift things to the left. You probably want to get that Hobgoblin somewhere in the middle or to the left for your big Heimdall play to push things over. And then you got the buffing on the multiple man with Forge and Hulkbuster, which can be really fun when you get some 9-power multiple men jumping around your board. It's a good time. And then Angelo as well for good value. Craven, a good beneficiary for all that movement that's occurring on your board. Iron Fist to bump things around. And Nightcrawler, man. I still stand by Nightcrawler. He's kind of been overshadowed by a lot of things, but I still think he's one of the better cards in the game. There's a lot of locations that, you know, you can't get cards to, especially early on in Series 2 and 1. So Nightcrawler, he's your bro. He'll get there. He'll save the day. Trust. So yeah, those are some of the good decks. There's a lot of great ones out there at those resources I was mentioning, which you can find in the description below. So go check it out. I hope you do well on ladder. But let's get to some games with the top 12 cards, top 12 Cuberate cards in Marvel Snap right now as of January 2023. Let's check it out. All right, let's try this out. Now, last time we didn't lose a single game. Not intentional. In fact, the opposite was meant to occur. Now, well, now we'll see what happens. These are still good cards, remember? We can do a Nakia into Infinite. That's kind of nasty in Monster Metropolis. Oh my goodness. Take note as well. I thought it was interesting. The power totals of these cards on the chart is pretty low. Obviously, Infinite being the anomaly in the 10 plus range, but yeah, kind of on the lower end. Whereas the energy curve is a bit on the lower end as well, but a lot of threes. A lot of threes, you know, that are probably getting a big buff from Silver Surfer. Can't deny the impact that the meta has on the cube rate and win rate of these cards. You know, we can look at Series 1 and 2 and 3 as much as we want, but you know, the season pass card is always going to have a big influence. I am enjoying my hand currently. I almost want to buff this Storm with Nakia. Maybe Storm Stark Tower or Asgard to deny any kind of draw. We're going to have to probably pass our turn 5, which is fine because he's decided to Daredevil into it, which is also interesting. He's gonna snap on us, in fact. Even furthering my interest. I'm thinking we Storm here and we can win it. I'm thinking I can win this location because we're going to pass on turn 5 with Sunspot. Then we're going to drop Infinite and Monster Metropolis. I'll even snap back. We're going for that Cuberate. Normally when I play these games, I try not to snap and intimidate my opponents so they leave, and I want to see how the games play out, right? For science. But I mean, if we're going to look at Cuberates in these kind of videos. Oh, what's up, Green Goblin? All right. Now that does kind of mess me up, but Nakia gave us that little power boost, helping us out. They do get the draws with Asgard on the Iceman, the solo Iceman. That was kind of nice. Now they are going to see our plays, but thank goodness I don't plan on playing nothing. Now, interesting note. They only have 1 drops out, really. Killmonger, he's not a bad option, but we have to wait and see what they do, I think, first. I'd rather wait and see. They got to know that Sunspot's going to get +5. They play a card instantly. My goodness. Debris. That will not do, sir. Oh, goodness. It's happening again. I don't know. They could Khazar, right? There could be a Khazar play. I do have priority, so he could, he could. Oh, okay, hold on. He could Shang-Chi me. And if I was going to Shang-Chi me, I'd play it at Monster Metropolis. So why don't I compete at Asgard? See what happens. I just feel like he's going to play Khazar and hope that's enough, which is going to give him +3. It's going to tie there, but that won't probably be enough in the differential department. Let's find out. What you got, buddy? He's thinking about it too. Okay. Oh, he moves Nightcrawler off. Black Widow comes out. That's not going to do enough. Carnage certainly not enough. I win the right, unless he plans on buffing the... Oh my gosh, Scorpion. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, there's 8. I should almost have a cube counter. I should maybe be doing that. Maybe I'll set it up right now. All right, so check it out. We got a little cube counter. This guy right here, this little 8. We're at 8 cubes. And when I do these, I promise not to edit heavily. Last time I literally didn't even edit because I was in such shock. But I usually cut the little in-betweens. The little in-between the games because they're a little bit boring. You know what I'm saying? Like me creating a cube counter. That would be boring to watch. But otherwise, minimal editing, okay? This is for science. We cannot cheat science. I will have none of it. Okay, Monster Island, interesting. I got Storm in hand. That could ruin the left there. He played Ice. He hit something. I don't care for it. Why don't we just Scorp your hand over here anyhow? Nakia getting hit is a bit of a bummer. Whenever Nakia is 4, significantly worse. Okay, really leaning heavily into my Killmonger play here. Oh, goodness. Storm on the final turn is just nasty. That is so nasty. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. We leave Storm, because that's got to be the play. Instead, I'm thinking I hit him with the Ironheart now. Give him the opportunity to play more. And we'll actually do it here because we're going to not Storm this location and I need power there. Okay. I like it. I enjoy it. I hope that's a 1-drop. I doubt it, but I hope for it. Zabu coming out. He was weakened by Scorpion's slap. Okoye coming out as well. Interesting. I don't care for it that much because I think the play is always this. And then we Storm here on 5. No, 6. What am I talking about? We do need another play here afterwards, but this is going to be a decent swing enough. This is going to be a good enough swing. Especially if he's planning on passing or something for Sunspot. No, he's going to play in the mid. That's fine. I'm only icing him in the mid for the value of ices on reveal. Everything else doesn't really matter. He's going to have to play a lot of cards on the left to try and compete with the power output here. Enchantress is doing absolutely nothing. And Moon Girl is going to double a card that's been slapped by Scorpion and iced. Oh my. I actually really like Sunspot here and passing because I don't need to play anything else. Check it. I don't know if they have anything for Death's Domain. That's a big concern, right? But if they're running the Zabu deck, he Moon Girls something, I'm feeling like he doesn't got it. I'm thinking we're in the clear. I'm thinking everything's okay. Now, I could have snapped. I feel like I could have snapped. He got Nakia. Thank goodness she got hit by ice in this instance. Because it could have been Storm and then he would have known what my play here is going to be. I don't even think it makes a difference in playing a Koei. Like, it's better to just get the buff on the left. We're just going to leave it. We're going to let Sunspot get buffed up. This is why he's the most seen, played, win rate, whatever you want to call it. He's one of the top dogs in the 1-drops. And then Storm stealing Death's Domain unless he, like, Giga Brain plays something there. Let's find out. He could. And I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I don't want this Cuberate to be super high. But he just might. He might even retreat. He might just be like, nah, this guy's got it. Maybe he's got Killmonger. That'd be a decent enough play. Ruin my 10 power Sunspot. You Killmonger and do something else. He hasn't really played those 4-drops though. Aside from, well, I guess he played 3. But I feel like he hasn't played the ones he wants to. He's got like some combo in the hand that he wants to lay out, but it's kind of ruined. Oh my gosh, he goes on the left, which means he's gonna lose Death's Domain. But does that mean he can win the left? Devil Dinosaur. I don't know if that's enough. No, because Sunspot buff. Oh my gosh. Oh. Got him. That's another 4 to the cube counter. Let's just chalk it up and I'll show you guys. I ain't editing. We're going on. We're going to keep going until we lose. We're going to see how many cubes we can get until we lose. We even completed a quest. Wow. If I had played a card with Storm, we would have lost. That's what it came down to. All right, Agent 13 value at Kamartage? I think so. And I actually love Nakia buffing twice. Probably onto the Vision is more valuable than actually waiting for the Infinite. Jessica Jones is fantastic. That rickety bridge is a bit intimidating, but that is way too good, guys. See, we snap when we can Scorpion in their hand twice. It's too good. And they pass on turn 1. He's got a lot of cards in hand. If he can't play anything this turn, it's probably 2 cubes and out. I predict. Let's see. Maybe he plays a bunch of cards. Maybe he's holding on to Yellow Jacket and Wasp. And he's like, I gotta get these out of my hand. At the bridge, no less. Maybe he just throws down a Colossus at the rickety bridge. That's a fair play. That's a good play nowadays. Rickety bridge is about to rotate out in like a short minute. All right, he does play a card there. Is it his boy Colossus? It is. Whoa, I made a video about that a couple days ago when the location came out. All right, that's pretty good Nakia value. I really believe that the buff to her made a pretty big difference. I feel like she's a pretty viable card because in this instance, she's giving, I don't even know, 10 power value, right? Okay, he got the buff from Electro. That is nasty. We can't deny that is nasty. Jessica Jones here is pretty nasty too, though, let me tell you. And Vision actually holds almost no value. So we're probably going to pass an Infinite because I can't move Vision unless I just want the 5/11, which maybe I do. Let's see what we draw. We see what he plays. He's going to go for the rickety bridge again. Oh! Oh, everything but Shang-Chi. Oh my gosh. Oh. Her thing did not trigger, and he destroys our entire hand, save for Shang-Chi. Okay, so all those Nakia buffs, gone. See ya later. What do we got? Okoye. Well, we might as well buff the deck. I feel like that's a good start. Okay, this might be the one. Maybe we're done. Maybe we're done for here. By the way, I made a video recently about Colossus, Dr. Octopus. If this guy plays like, I don't even know. What else? Let's see if it's my deck. Doubt it. My deck. I shouldn't even say that. Not my deck. Just something I was trying out. Whoa, Quake. Oh no. She's so by herself, Okoye. No. Killmonger is never enough. Nor is Shang-Chi. My opponent. What do I do in this instance? They play a card at Rickety Bridge. We both explode and die. Oh, he retreats! No! No! Oh, he could have won! Why does this happen every time I make these videos? He really could have won. All he had to do there, I mean, maybe it's a bit difficult depending on his hand, right? He plays a card at Rickety Bridge, it destroys Okoye, so he doesn't get the win there. And then he just has to find a way to beat me on power. He's already at 8, he needs 10 power. This montage, maybe there's a chance, maybe, but no. He tried the Quake thing. A lot of people suggested Quake too, it's awesome. He was really going hard for the location. Every card he played was to win that location. Okay, we're at 14 cubes. It's happening again. It's happening again. Oh my gosh. These are always going to be like the longest videos. Okay. We're up against Kev. We got Agent 13 off the hop. We will probably play her. I feel like her value comes when you get the card right away. Bast? No. Get out of town. Okay, Rickety Bridge. See you later. You're going to pass. Okoye is coming out to give those buffs. The earlier you can play Okoye, the better. By the way, is this not the best Okoye variant? I adore it. It was the first one, fun little fact, it was the first one I ever bought with gold from the shop. Very early on, geez, I want to say like August. Okay. X-Mansion for Lizard, that seems pretty good for me. Buckaroo. Let me just stack a bunch of cards there. Give you a hard time. Ice him. Sunny. Maxim is going to give me draw. Bro. What are you doing? Sandman. Oh, and he's going to get the negative buff from the Lizard. Oh my gosh, that was devastating for this guy. We snap on that all day. Do I Storm over Vulture? I feel like I do because I'm going to just pass. Oh, this is over. This is over. And then I play Infinite on the left. And he can only play one card a turn. As if Valkyrie came out. Oh my gosh, this poor sucker. And we got Sandman, which is also a Series 2 card. So really holding true. X-Mansion pulling through for us here. A buff Sandman, no less. Okay, that's probably going to be a wrap on the flooding location here. Now he has to find a way to play something on Rickety Bridge to destroy Agent 13 and get enough power on the left, which he doesn't even know is coming. He has to get over 22. We pass. Okay, so he goes for the Shang-Chi play, which he should not have done, dude. Oh, you just ruined your opportunity to destroy me. And then we play Infinite, and he can't play one card. It's going to be like this, isn't it? It's going to be like this. Oh my gosh, this video is going to be so long. Okay, I'm going to cut it off after one more. We're going to cut it off if this is the last one. I hope I lose. I'm going to keep playing like I'm going to try and win, but my goodness. Like, please, please, do something good. Oh my gosh. That is so good for us. Let's just snap and see what happens. I'd love for him to just leave. Watch, I'm going to ice his favorite card. Okay, Killmonger. Oh, no cards are revealed. That's unfortunate for my Scorp. My Scorpadorp. I'll do it anyways though, bro. So we're obviously playing Vision. Vision's gonna swan dive into Sanctum Sanctorum. Make a little home. Make a house a home. And then, I don't know. We'll try and win the game otherwise. I hope my opponent can get enough power at Lemuria in this unknown location. but I have low confidence in my opponents lately. Miniature Lab does not allow us to do anything. So check it, we can storm. Oh wait, no. Why did I do that? I misplayed. This is excellent. This gives him an opportunity. Nova, Deadpool. Okay, my thinking was that I was going to storm and then Sunspot and just let it buff and then I'd be fine. But now, because of Miniature Lab, I can't play Vision and get Vision over to Sanctum Sanctorum. I blew it. This is excellent. Deathlock coming out. Certainly not enough to win the flooding location, which means he is all in on the Miniature Lab, which kudos, he's got a 4-power Deadpool. That might do something. But they literally can't play a card this turn. If I draw Infinite, like nobody's playing cards. Pass, get +5 power. And now what? I have priority, so playing Killmonger is the worst thing in the world. It's basically Vision and Agent 13 and see what he can do about it. But I'm pretty sure he's going to lose. We're going to get another 4, and we're going to be at 20 cubes. Geez, if there's one thing this series is proving is that good cards are actually pretty good. Who would have thought? But the real point I'm trying to make is that when you put them in a deck together, when they're not really particularly supposed to synergize. Look at Vulture. What's Vulture doing here? He's a dead draw almost every time. I can't move that guy. He did it! He did it! Did he do it? 11? 10? Yes! And it's because I misplayed, because I could have put Vision over at Sanctum Sanctorum, and we would have won the game. We would have easily won the game. I misplayed, and then my opponent squeaked it out by 1 power. Congratulations to my opponent. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It's fun making these. I want to keep doing them. If you like them, let me know in the comments below and smash that like button. I really appreciate it. And snap subscribe if you're not already subscribed. We're doing daily content. I got big things on the way. Stay tuned. I'm really excited to share it with you guys. So thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys next time.